Good morning, students. So today we are going to do the designing problems of context-free grammar. Okay. So last lecture I taught you about the context-free grammar. Context-free grammar is the type 2 grammar, and the machine that is used to identify the context-free language is the push-down machine. Okay. So always remember, context-free grammar ka language is the context-free language, and the machine that can identify this language is a push-down machine. And pushdown machine is a modification of finite state machine where we add the stack memory to it. Okay. So we are going to solve some designing problems of context-free grammar, because unless and until you are familiar with the designing of context-free grammar, the remaining chapters or remaining topics of this particular chapter is dependent on that. You need to know exactly how to design the grammar, and you need to design to do the practice. Okay, like you did the practice for drawing DFA, NFA. Similar to that, you need to practice to write the grammar. Okay, means the rules for the grammar. Okay, identifying the language is not a difficult task. Okay, there are two types of things which can be asked in the exam. Given the grammar, you need to identify what is the language, or given the language, you need to identify what is the grammar. Okay, so identifying language is not a difficult task. We have seen one sample problem of that. Given the grammar, you try to find out multiple words that are generated by this grammar, and by following the pattern of the words you can identify what kind of language it is, and you can write it in the form of an English statement, the language, or you can represent it in the form of an expression such as regular expression. That is not difficult, but designing grammar or writing the rules for the grammar needs practice. Okay, so we will do the practice in today's lecture, and maybe next lecture also. So let's see quickly what is, let's revise what is context free grammar. Context free grammar is the type 2 grammar, and as I told you, every grammar belongs to a particular language. If you have a new language of computers also, you can have a grammar for the language, and the grammar or the language has a set of rules. Sorry, the language has a set of symbols, and the word of the language is formed by following the rules which are given in the grammar. I'll just repeat this again. You have a language, any language, every language has a grammar. Every language has a set of symbols belonging to this language, and the strings are formed as a group of symbols, or the strings or sentences, they are formed by a group of symbols, and they are formed by following the rules which are given in the grammar. So this is the basic concept about this. And context free grammar is the type 2 grammar as per Chomsky hierarchy. It gives you the rules how to form the words of the language. It is VTPS, where V is a set of variables, T is a set of terminal symbols, that is small case letters, V is the capital letter, T is the small case letter, P is a set of rules, S is the starting symbol. And rules are of the type of A generates alpha, means the left hand side should be the single variable, and right hand side will be the combination of variables and terminals. So alpha belongs to V union T bracket star. So it is a group of, or it is a combination of variables and terminals ka string, that is at the right hand side, and at the left hand side there is a single variable. Okay, so this so abhi you should by heart this, like at this point you should know this, that grammar is VTPS. V is a set of variables, that is capital letters, T is a set of small case letters, P is the rules, S is the starting symbol, and rules are of the type of A generates alpha, where LHS is a single variable, RHS is the group of variables and terminals. And for the example like A raised to n, B A raised to n, which is a context free language, for the particular string such as double A, B double A, like two A's to the left hand side, two A's to the right hand side, we need to remember two A's to the left hand side, and that is not possible with FSM. So we can have a push down machine. With the help of stack you can solve the problem, and we can draw the parse tree for such a string. Is that a is equal to ACA, again C is equal to ACA, and then finally to stop the recursion C is equal to B. So here in case of CFG, recursion is used. All the rules are formed by using the concept of recursion. So a variable is declared with the help of or defined with the help of itself. Variable S is defined with the help of variable S, or variable C is defined with the help of variable C. So many rules will have the recursion. So I can say that S is equal to ACA because it is at least it should be there for one time. So here it will be for there for one time. A will be there for one time. To stop the recursion, for n is equal to 1, you can apply C is equal to B. So you will have the string as ABA as a valid string of the language. Or you can have a double A B double A, like you are applying S is equal to ACA, then C is equal to ACA, and then to stop the recursion, C is equal to B. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Once you understand this particular concept, you can remember now. Okay, so always remember this example of A raised to n, B raised to n, or this particular example. Okay, so actually this A raised to n wala example is better to always remember. We'll see that. The 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n example, you need to remember how to write the rules for that. And 0 raised to n ke liye bhi you remember the rules. Once you know this particular both the strings ka rules, then by remembering that, for all the other problems you need to use the same concept. Okay, so please pay your attention properly and repeat this again for the rules of 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n, and 0 raised to n. Okay, so just have a quickly look at context free grammar, type 2 grammar, CFG, language is CFL, machine is push down machine, rules are of this type. S is equal, A is equal to alpha, and S can appear to the right, so S can be defined with the help of S. This type of complexity n cube, and for this particular this is the example of type 2 grammar, 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n. It is not a regular language. As per the pumping lemma, we show that 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n is not a regular language. It is a context free language. And here this is 1 0 ke liye you need to have 1 1. Okay, so how to define that? Like you say S is equal to 0 as 1. So whenever any 0 is generated to the left hand side, 1 is also generated. So anytime you go on applying the rule, for 1 0, another one is created. For any 0, 1 is created. So like this, it is a recursion. And with the help of a parse tree, you can easily remember that root is S, starting symbol S. Then you say that S is equal to 0 S1, then again 0 S1, and then to stop the recursion, S is equal to epsilon. Here n is greater than or equal to 0 is the assumption for this particular example. If it is equal to 1, then you will have here 0 1. S is equal to 0 1. If n is equal to n is greater than or equal to 1, then in that condition S will be equal to 0 1. And for n is greater than or equal to 0, S is equal to epsilon. Okay, so remember this. And we have proved that this language 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n is not a regular language by using pumping lemma. Uh, and so it is a context free language, and this is the parse tree. Like for 0, 1 is generated. Again you apply the same rule, 0 to the left hand side, corresponding 1 is generated at the right hand side. So always this is going to happen. And then to stop the recursion, you can say that it is epsilon. Okay, and here it should be S. Now this was the example to identify the language that we have seen last time. That you given the grammar, you need to identify what kind of words. So like try all the rules, all the possible combinations. Like here I have tried for 7 times and I have generated 7 different types of words. And then after generating sufficient amount of words, then only you can identify the pattern. Okay, you will just try 1 or 2 sentences, and then you will try to identify, then your answer may go wrong. So you need to try for many times, many words you try, 6 7 words at least, and then you try to identify the pattern. Okay, and then you can see the languages. So there are 2 types of questions: grammar is given and identify the language, or language is given and write the grammar. Okay, so reverse way is difficult. Given the language, you need to identify these rules is needs the practice. Okay. Plus I taught you about the leftmost derivation and rightmost derivation, and sometimes the string is given to you. So for this particular string, you derive as a leftmost derivation, where you go on deriving the leftmost variable, and always. In case of rightmost derivation, you go on deriving the rightmost variable, and then you generate the string which you want. Okay, and then you write it in the form of such a derivation, LMD. So this is called as LMD and RMD, leftmost derivation and rightmost derivation. And we say that if both the derivations, LMD and RMD, if they are generating exactly same parse trees, okay, see their derivations are different. This is the first rule, small a, capital S. Here the second rule is ABSS, and where in RMD the second rule is small a, capital A. So these both the rules are different here. So this derivation is different and this derivation is different. Final answer is same. But when you draw the parse tree is exactly same. And what is the use of this parse tree? This parse tree is referred by the compiler when it is executing the statements. Runtime environment when it is executing the statement. So how it will interpret the statement, that it will first go to the lowest level. It will say that this S is to be resolved. So this S is equal to A. Then it may be, it is used along with this B. And then this BA is used along with this A, and then this A, B, A, and then A. Like this one, it decides the how to execute the statement. First, you solve S. You can assume here S and A as the equal to symbol, multiply symbol, or plus or minus. So if this is multiplication, this if A is equal to multiplication, then it will be B into A. And if this S is equal to plus, then it will be B plus this particular value, and then this particular value. So like this, it will identify, and it will be able to execute the statement correctly. So it is very important that your grammar should not be ambiguous. Grammar should be unambiguous. Means there should not be any confusion to the compiler how to execute the statement. So any way you derive, you are getting the same parse tree. And the parse tree is referred by the execution environment to execute the statements. So if both the parse trees are same, then it is not a confusion. It will always resolve this variable, this variable, this variable, and then it will go on resolving it, and finally it will get the answer, which is S. Okay, so parser के लिए parser is very important for understanding how the statement is to be executed. Okay, we'll see one example in the ambiguity problems of equal to, multiplication, and minus sign. And along with 0 raised to n, 1 raised to n, you also remember a raised to n. Suppose your string is a for n number of times, and here n can be equal to 1, or it is greater than or equal to 0. So in any case, you need to write down the rules. So for n is equal to greater than or equal to 1, remember this rule. So here a is there, for a is generated for multiple times. Like you need to have a parse tree like this, that a is generated, then again a is generated, a is generated. This process is repeated, and to stop the recursion, you will say that because n is equal to greater than or equal to 1, you say that this is the last tick. So here a is generated, 4 a's के लिए ये parse tree है, 4 a's के लिए. So here you say that s is equal to as. So it is recursion. So s will generate a and s. Then again you can say, use the same variable. Okay. So just remember here the important point as always use the right recursion. Always your grammar should not be left recursive grammar. Grammar should be right recursive. Means your symbol, when you are writing the grammar, your recursion ka symbol should appear as at the right hand side. It should not be the leftmost variable. If it is a left recursive grammar, then creating the parser and parsing is little tough. But if it is a right recursive grammar, then maybe bottom up parser works well, and execution of the statement doesn't take much problem, and the complexity is less. So So what we do is that suppose we are getting left recursive grammar, we convert it to right recursive grammar. Always, when you simplify the grammar, like in DFNFA, you simplify or you not you minimize the number of states. So you design the DFA and then you perform minimization. Like that, in context-free grammar, you design the grammar, and if the grammar is left recursive, you will have to convert it to the right recursion. You also have to simplify the grammar. So simplification also has multiple steps. So given grammar, you can simplify the grammar, and always if there is any recursion, we always convert it to right recursion. Okay. So whenever the designing problems are there, always remember, don't use the left recursion. Here if you say S is equal to SA, then also you will be able to solve the problem, because your S symbol will appear always to the left hand side, and you will go on resolving S, and still you will be able to get number of A's. But always remember, your variable or recursion should not be at the leftmost side. Okay, so use always rightmost recursion, or right side recursion at the right hand side or at the center, but it should not be starting at the leftmost symbol of the rule. Okay, so I think I've told you about sufficient tips or the important points which I have covered in the last lecture. uh, we have seen some of the problems, like for a raised to m, b raised to n. We can split this. Okay, I told you, always remember a raised to n, b raised to n ka example, where both of these values are same, but here it is not same, they are different. So this is actually a regular grammar, but regular grammar is also identified by context free grammar. Okay, so that's why we can design CFG for this regular expression. So I told you that always remember a raised to n ka example and a raised to n, b raised to n ka example. And whenever any problem is given to you, you have to split this problem, or you have to convert the problem to any one of them. A raised to n, b raised to n, या तो a raised to n के लिए. So here I can split this problem as this is a raised to m is equal to a raised to n wala problem, and b raised to n is equal to a raised to n wala problem. So I will divide this thing, because m and n are independent of each other. There is no relation between m and n. M can be anything, n can be anything. They can be zero also, both of them, or both of them can be same value, or m can be greater than n, or n can be greater than m. So they are independent of each other. Only the given is that it can be zero or greater than zero. So that's why they are different terms. These both the terms are different. They are independent of each other. So if the terms are independent of each other, then you can use a different variable for each of the term. So there are two terms. So I'm taking two variables. S is equal to AB. And then I'm writing the rules. So for capital A, I just have to, what is capital A? Capital A is going to generate A raised to M. And I know already A raised to N wala, how to write A raised to N wale rules. So, and capital B is going to generate B raised to N. So that also is the same. So that's why I will divide this particular string into two variables, A, B, where capital A is going to generate A raised to M, and capital B is going to generate B raised to N. So I'll say that A is equal to small a, capital A. Left recursion is not there, right recursion is there. So I've taken the care of that, and it can be zero also. So number of A's can be zero. So if number of A's are zero, then I'm using epsilon. That A can be epsilon. So if it is equal to zero, then epsilon is used. Otherwise AA, and generate any number of A's, and here generate any number of B's. So B is equal to small b capital B. Okay, so this way, then A raised to n, B raised to n ka to we have done. You remember always left hand side A ke liye, right hand side B is generated, and if it is greater than or equal to 1, then AB. Okay, now I think you have understood this. We have solved this problem. So I'll go ahead with this problem. Okay, so the current problem here, A plus B plus, so A for number of times and B for number of times. So it is similar. It is similar problem, but it is represented in another way. Only here it is that m comma n is greater than or equal to 1. A plus B plus means the similar problem. Only m and n is greater than or equal to 1. That's why here it is small a small b. And either A or B is as, bs, epsilon. Okay, so now solve this problem. A raised to m, b raised to 2n plus 1. Okay, for this particular problem, what we see here is that m and n, they are greater than or equal to 1. I forgot to write m के लिए. M and n are greater than or equal to 1. So I can assume that both are different terms. Both are different terms. So I'll say that s is equal to xb. You can use capital A also. Okay. These are the variables which are defined by the programmer. Programmer can use any capital letter. But normally in most of the books or wherever any material is there, we use the variables a, b, c, d, e, f or x, y, z, w. Such kind of variables are used. So I have used here x and b. Now my x is to generate a raised to m. So I'll say that x is equal to, okay, here there is a relation. So I need to change this problem actually. This is a raised to m. This is not. This is a raised to n. Now consider this problem. This is a raised to n, b raised to 2n plus 1. Okay. Now here, both the terms are related to each other because it is n only. It is n only. So we cannot have we can have two different variables, but we need to identify the relation. So what I'll do is that this is a raised to n, and this will be b raised to 2n plus 1. Matlab n for 2 times and one extra b. So I'll say that this is equal to s is equal to xb. This b will be this b will be a small b. So by default it got changed to capital B. In autocorrect it has got changed to capital B. It is small b. Okay, so it is S is see here if you observe this particular pattern, it is A raised to n and B raised to 2n. So here there is a clear relation between them. So if A is one A, here there are two B's. Okay, like so it is similar to this problem a raised to n, b raised to n. Each and every problem you will have to convert the problem to a raised to n, b raised to n के लिए या तो a raised to n का problem के लिए. So now how to convert it? I'll say that a raised to n, b raised to 2n is similar to a raised to n, b raised to n. So here one a के लिए one b is generated, but here only one a के लिए two b's will be generated. So it is similar to this particular problem, but one extra b is there, always one extra b. So for that one extra b, I'm writing the rule as s is equal to xb, and one extra b already generated. And now then you write the rule for x. So x will be 1a to the left hand side and 2b's at the right hand side, and it is equal to greater than or equal to 1. So at least it should occur for 1. So x will be at least abb. So either x is equal to ABB. So for n is equal to 1, what will be the value here? For n is equal to 1, for n is equal to 1, your string will be A and a double B. For n is equal to 2, your string will be double A and then double A, double B and one extra B. Similar to that, for triple A, triple B, n is equal to 3, it will be triple A, triple B and one extra B. So one extra B is always there. So it is generated in the first rule only. S is equal to xb and the last b is generated already. And then you solve for x. X is equal to 1a to the left hand side agar hai, to right mein 2b aayega. Okay, so this way you have to solve. All the problems are to be converted into a raised to n, b raised to n or a raised to n. And so you need to remember only two, and then you can solve the problem. You just have to apply your logic. It is very interesting problems. All the problems are very interesting. You have to apply your logic. It is not something which you have to by heart and ratta marne ke liye. It is like some that you have to solve. So here this is AB or BA bracket start. So either AB is generated or BA is generated or AB BA AB. So we'll say that S is equal to XS. So X is going to represent this AB and Y is going to represent BA. It is similar to X plus Y star. Okay, और ब्रैकेट का स्ट्रिंग है इसलिए S is equal to epsilon. And then you say X is equal to ABX or AB, and you say Y is equal to BAY or BA. Okay, so any doubt in this? Or you can also have this solution that S is equal to ABS or BAS or epsilon. So this is more efficient solution because here the less number of variables are used. So in case of context-free grammar, when you simplify the grammar, you remove the useless symbols. So this X and Y may be useless in that case. And when you simplify this grammar, you will get this answer with only one variable. Okay, so in the simplification of context-free grammar problems, you simplify the grammar and you remove the extra variables, and it will be a optimized solution for the given problem. Okay, so for this particular context-free grammar, this can be the answer, that ABS or BAS, either AB generated or BA generated, or it can be a epsilon symbol. Okay, now next problem you need to so write down final answer as G is equal to VTPS. So here V is equal to X SXY, T is equal to small AB. These are the rules, and S is the starting symbol. Okay, now the next problem, A raised to N, B raised to N, and C raised to I. Okay, and it is given that they are at least equal to 1. So now how to split this problem? You can split it into two parts. A raised to N, B raised to N as the first part, and C raised to I as the second part. Okay, so can anyone tell me what will be the first rule? Can anyone tell me what will be the first rule? A raised to N, B raised to N, C raised to I. So write your answer in the chat box. What can be the first rule? A raised to N, B raised to N, and C raised to I. वो problem के लिए what will be the first rule? S is equal to. Write down in the chat. A raised to N, B raised to N, and C raised to I. What will be S? S is equal to what? S is equal to ASBX. No. This will not be able to give you the correct answer. S is equal to, afterwards this may create another, afterwards this may create the problem for the for solving it, or you try and then check the answer. I'll say that S is equal to XY. Okay, so I is equal to XY. Then what will be the X? Or S is equal to AC is also correct. Okay, Sanam. So you understood. S is equal to AC is also correct. S is equal to XY is also correct. So we'll see what I have done. S is equal to XY I have taken. Now what is X? What is X, or what is capital A for S is equal to AC? It is A raised to N, B raised to N, correct. A raised to N, B raised to N के लिए we know. So it will be A raised to N, B raised to N के लिए. So X will be A raised to N, B raised to N का answer. That left hand side का A के लिए right hand side B होना चाहिए. And it is greater than or equal to 1 है तो either it will be this or this, AB. And then the Y is C raised to I. Y is going to represent C raised to I. So what will be the value of Y? Y will be CC for any times, correct. Okay, so Y will be CY or C, and this will be the answer, SXY. These are the variables. Okay, now the next problem, AB plus or BA plus. So this was star, now it is plus. So use one variable and solve the problem. BA plus or AB plus or BA plus. So there are 44 students who have logged in and who are listening to the lecture, and I've revised everything. So answer and write down in the chat box. I should see many answers. Now the question is AB or BA plus. AB plus or BA plus. AB, 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 AB or BA, 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 BA. Any one of them. It is not bracket ka plus. This problem and this problem, they are different. Here AB, AB, answer will be either AB, 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 AB for many times or BA, 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 BA. It cannot be AB, BA, BA, AB. Otherwise, it will become this. So it is either AB plus or BA plus. Correct. First, Nisha has answered correctly. S is equal to either X or Y. S is equal to either X or Y. So I'll say that I'm saying S is equal to either A or B. Now what will be capital A? What will be capital A or capital X? AB plus. AB plus. Capital A is AB plus. So it is similar to um, this problem is similar to this AB plus is similar to A raised to N, where N is greater than or equal to 1. So capital A will be equal to AB capital A or AB, correct. AB capital A or AB, correct. And what is capital B? Similar to that. This is B raised to N. This problem is B raised to N ka problem. So your string should be split into, you need to identify A raised to N, B raised to N or A raised to N ka problem. के साथ map करना है उसको. So BA plus will be capital B is equal to BA, capital B or BA. Okay. Rahul is saying B small है वो, हाँ, it may be a by mistake. Rahul's answer, this capital A is not it will be a small a. I think it is because of typing autocorrect it has capital A. Otherwise it is BA B. ठीक है. Okay, so now the next problem. Solve the next problem. 0 raised to I, 1 raised to N, 2 raised to N. Okay, I'll show the problem. 0 raised to I, 1 raised to N, 2 raised to N. Can you hear me? What is how to split this? It can be split into two parts. 0 raised to I is the leftmost part, left wala variable, and 1 raised to N, 2 raised to N will be right wala variable. So as I told you, you have to convert everything into this format. 0 raised to N, 1 raised to N, and 0 raised to I or 0 raised to N, and then you can solve. So all the problems are solved by using such a trick. So tell me what is the first. S is equal to xy, correct, and then x is equal to 0x. Yes, correct. Okay, I can see some of the answers, but only the same students are answering. Other students, I don't know what they are doing. S is equal to AB. A will be 0A or 0, and B will be, this is 1 and 2. So it will be 1B2 or epsilon, because n can be greater than or equal to 0. So that's why whenever you just have to look at 0 or 1. And if it is 0, then it can be epsilon. Okay, this is the answer. Hmm? So correct, many students have solved. And now here, you need to remember here, capital T is equal to 0, 1, 2. There are three symbols. There are three symbols, 0, 1 and 2. Now the next problem, A raised to N, B, A raised to M. And M and N are greater than 1. Greater than or equal to 1. Okay, make it as equal to. Greater than or equal to 1. So here also this b is only once, b is only once, and this can be split into three terms. This is a raised to n, a raised to n, and this is a raised to m. So both are actually same, both are actually same, so we can use the same variable for that. And then this will be small b. So what will be your s? What will be your s? We can use the same variable in this case. This is also correct. You can use the same variable. Correct, Linton has correctly done. S is equal to A, B, A. Because here, uh, this is number of A's. Okay. So you can use the same variable instead of two variables. And it will be capital A, B, capital A, and A will be small a or A. And then you write down the answer, final answer. Okay, now the next sum. A raised to 2n, b raised to 2n, where n is greater than or equal to 1. Now you write down a raised to 2n and b raised to 2n. So how to do that? A raised to n, a raised to 2n, b raised to 2n. The question is a raised to 2n, b raised to 2n. Solve it. A raised to 2n is correct. Double A. A raised to 2n means 2 a's. 2 a's are for n times and 2 b's for n times. So you have done correctly. This is double A S double B, correct. Okay, so it will be double A S is equal to AB. I'm going to use for two A's. I'm going to use capital A for this side and capital B for B, and A is equal to double A for any number of times. A for any number of times. Instead of single A, you just have to use two B's. So it's just a little variation of the A raised to n B raised to n problem. Now another one. Here now we are saying a raised to m plus 3, b raised to m. So here the same variable is used, m is used. So there is a relation between these two sides, a and b में थोड़ा relation है. So how to represent it? It will be m plus 3. So if my m is equal to 1, then this will be my string, that triple A, AB. Okay, means I can say that 3 A's and after that AB. Or if m is equal to 2, then 3 A's are separate, then 2 A's and 2 B's. Okay. So I can split this particular problem as 3A, then A raised to M, B raised to M. 3 A's and A raised to M, B raised to M. So can you write down now? Yeah, Nijo, so many answers are there. Simran, triple A, capital. No, this is not correct. Huh? This is here. It is A raised to N, B raised to N. So you have to use one variable for that. So your S will be equal to triple A, capital A. Okay, let me see what you have solved. Correct. Nisho has done correctly. Simran, you are having problem. See this answer, triple A, capital A, and then capital A is equal to A raised to M, B raised to M. So capital A will be A, capital A, B, and then A, B. Okay, and then write down the final answer. Now the next problem needs some thinking. Okay, thoda sa difficult hai abhi. This is A raised to N, B raised to M, where N is not equal to M. Okay. The question is, the language contains the words A raised to N, B raised to M, where N is not equal to M. So if N is not equal to M, there are only two possibilities. N will be greater than M or N will be less than M. So we will assume the first condition, we will write all the rules. And then we will assume the second condition and we will write down all the rules. And then we will combine both the rules. Okay. Now how to solve this problem? Just pay your attention. How to solve this problem? N is not equal to M. If N is not equal to M, that means N is either greater than M or less than M. So we assume it is greater than M and then we write the rules. Then we assume it is smaller than M and we write the rules. and then we combine both the set of rules to get the proper set or proper answer. So if I am saying n is greater than m, then I can rewrite this a raised to n, b raised to n. How to rewrite this? If n is greater than m, then I can rewrite this a, that my a will be a raised to n minus m and a raised to m. So it is equal to a raised to n. Means because my n is greater than m, I will take out a raised to m here to make a group of this right side string, because I have to convert everything in the form of a raised to m, b raised to m, or a raised to n. So I have converted this. I have taken out a raised to m outside, and then remaining part is a raised to n minus m. So now there are two terms. This term is going to generate all a's for any number of times, and this string is going to generate the same number of a's and same number of b's. So can you write down the rules now? Can you write down the rules now? We are assuming n is greater than m. So I have rewritten a raised to n, b raised to m as a raised to n minus m, a raised to m, b raised to n. So for this portion you take a variable, for this portion you take a variable. So s will be equal to ab. Now you write down the rules for ab. A will be, this a means a raised to n, a for number of times. So it is similar to that. Capital A is equal to small a or small a. And capital B is equal to a raised to n, b raised to n. So it is a, b, b. And they have not mentioned anything about less than or greater than 0. So we will assume it as a 0. It can be 0 also. So it will be epsilon. Okay. Uh, so, uh, so this is done. Now this consider the second condition, that m is greater than n. If m is greater than n, then the string can be split in this manner, that n is smaller. If n is smaller, then it can be a raised to n, b raised to n, and b raised to m minus n. So divide it into two parts. This is the left portion and this is the rightmost variable. So this is a raised to n, b raised to n. But a raised to n, b raised to n ke liye we have the variable capital B. So I can use here capital B also. But we are doing the problem for the first time. So I'm taking new variables, x, y. So this is x. X is going to generate a raised to n, b raised to n. So it is small a xb or epsilon. And then y is going to generate b's. So y will be byb. So your set will contain, the entire answer is all these 6 rules. S, A, B, X, Y and XY. Okay. Now further you can simplify this. How to simplify this? Because for a raised to n, b raised to n, this a raised to m, b raised to m, we are using the variable capital B. So instead of x, you can use a capital B variable. So you can write here s is equal to capital B y. Okay, and then you can reduce one variable, and you will have the final answer with 4 variables. But as we are solving this for the first time, I have used another variable, and even in the exam, if you solve with extra variables, that is also fine. But your answer should be correct. Okay. Have you understood this? A raised to n, b raised to m, where n is not equal to m. Have you understood this? Okay. Okay, so what we did is that n is not equal to m, so either it is greater or it is smaller. For greater, we split the string into two forms and we get the left hand side, right hand side ka variable wala part, and then solve. So all the problems are based on this particular theme. Now here, it is similar to that. A raised to n, b raised to m, c raised to m, d raised to n. Now how to solve this? Can anyone tell me? M is greater than equal to 0 hai, n is also greater than equal to 0. It can be 0 also. So how now what we are seeing is that here this number of A's and number of D's are same, and number of B's and number of C's are same. So can you think of S is equal to? Now you are having 4 variables A, B, C, D, 4 terminal symbols. Okay, Nijo has done correctly that number of A's and number of D's are same, so you will have the recursion in between. And you can go on applying the same rule. So any number of A's to the left and the same number of D's will be there at the right hand side. So the first rule is S is equal to A S D, or uh, or if N is equal to 0, if N is equal to 0, then A and D's will not be there. But M may not be 0 that time. So in that case, it will be only X. S is equal to either this or X, where X will generate B and C. Or if both are 0, if M and N both are 0, then S will be epsilon. Okay, so S will be ASD, or S will be X when N is equal to 0, and S is equal to epsilon when M and N both are 0. And if M is equal to 0, then you will apply S is equal to epsilon here. Then B and C can be 0. Now what is X? X has to generate B and C. So X will be BXC to generate this, and epsilon. Okay, so this is the answer for this. Now the next problem is A raised to I, B raised to J, and C raised to I plus J, and they are greater than or equal to 1. So again it is similar here. We can split this C into two parts. So how to split? Here I have taken the example. If I is equal to 2, then you are getting 2 A's, then 1B, 1C. Here I am taking I is equal to 2 and J is equal to 1. In that case, it will be 2A, J is equal to 1, so only 1B, and then C will be 3 times. So here C will be 3 times. So how I can divide this, or I can say that here A raised to I, B raised to J, C raised to J, and C raised to I. I can rewrite this as A raised to I, B raised to J, C raised to J, and C raised to I. Now, by looking at this, you can write the rules. This is number of A's and number of C's are same. Number of A's and number of C's are same. So your S will be equal to A, S, C. Okay, and S will be equal to either this, but it is equal, at least it should be there for 1. So this should be there for 1 time. So either it will be this or AXC. So if it is only 1 time, then it will use this particular rule, second rule. And then X is equal to, X is going to generate BC. Number of B's same equal to number of C's. So X will be BXC or BC. Okay, so this way you have to answer this. Have you understood this? What we have done here is that C is divided into, we rewrite C. That C is I plus J hai na, C raised to I plus J. So it is equal to C raised to J and C raised to I. I'm not writing I first and J afterwards, because I need to group this together. So B and C will be grouped together. Number of B's same equal to number of C's, and this number of A is equal to number of C's. So I can write the rule A as C, and if I is equal to 1, then it will be AXC, and then X is going to generate B and C at least once or more than once with application of the recursion. Okay, now A plus B star B. So can you solve this? A plus B star B. This is simple. This is easy. So write down the rule for A plus B star B. A plus B star B. Write down the rules. A plus B, either A or B star and dot B. S is equal to XB, correct. S is equal to XB is the first rule, and then X is equal to either A or B, or S is equal to, this is also correct. Nijo has also done correctly. So let's see here. S is equal to XB and then x is equal to small a x or small b x or epsilon. Okay. Then the next sum, a plus b star or a plus b star, a plus b star. A plus b star, a plus b star, a plus b star. So what will be the first rule? These two a's are fixed. This is only one time. So what will be the first rule? Correct. X. For generation of a plus b star, you can use a variable and you say that s is equal to x, and then x will be equal to either a or b or epsilon. Combination of a's and b's and epsilon. Okay. So a plus b star के लिए we are using a variable capital X. X, and then x is either a or b or a or b or epsilon. Now you need to write down the rules for this. Okay, I'm not going to show you write the answer first. This is a raised to I, b raised to j, and c raised to q. But the relation is given. I plus j is equal to q. So if I plus j is equal to q, you split c into c raised to j and c raised to I. So you can rewrite this particular equation as a raised to I, b raised to j, c raised to j, and c raised to I. Again, it is you converted the problem into this particular problem which you have solved before. So now you tell the rules for this. So it's just a technique to convert your problem into known solutions. What will be the first rule here in this case? S is equal to S is equal to ASC, correct? Or S is equal to AXC. Uh, S is equal to ASC, C is small, and or X I can write, or AXC also is correct. Then X will be equal to X is going to represent B raised to N, C raised to N. So X will be equal to BXC or BC. Because it is at least it should be equal to 1. Okay. Here I can simplify this. This is also correct, but I can simplify this as at least one है ना, तो S is equal to directly X I can say. So if it no, if it is I'm saying directly X, then it will be a wrong answer. It will be a wrong answer because it may have a 0. I and J are greater than or equal to 1. So it should be AXC. It should be AXC. It will be here. It will be AXC. And this is small c. Okay, now next problem. A raised to I, B raised to J, C raised to K. And this the relation is given as J is greater than I plus K. J is greater than I plus K. So what I can say here, that double A, B, C and double C. So I'm using three terms here. S is equal to XYZ, S is equal to XYZ. My X is going to generate the number of A's equal to number of, sorry, I'm taking here XYZ and 0 and 1. Okay, so I'll just check over this problem because I have written down the answer for some other problem, I think. Let's see this particular problem. This we will see in the next lecture, tomorrow's lecture. Solve the next problem. 0, 0 plus 1 star, 0, 1, 0 plus 1 star, 1. Because there is less time, so we will not, I will not change. Time is getting over. We'll see the last problem. 0, 0 raised to, and what to write here now? Write down your answer. 0A, 0, 1, A1. Correct. 0, x, 0, 1, x1, and x is equal to either 0 or 1 or epsilon. This is also similar to that. हाँ थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है ये. इसके लिए क्या लिखोगे? Either 0 or 1, then 1 star, and then 1 plus 0, 1 bracket star. So you can divide this into three portions. First portion, second, and third. And the first portion is either 0 or 1. So I can say that S is equal to ABC. A is equal to either 0 or 1. B is equal to 1 star. So 1B or epsilon. And then C is equal to either 1 or 0, 1 star. So C will be equal to either 1 or capital D. Because 0, 1 star ke liye I am using a variable now. And capital D will be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 or epsilon. Okay. So let's see again, like here divided into three parts, A, B and C. S is equal to ABC. A is equal to either 0 or 1. B is equal to 1 star. So 1B, 1B, 1B or epsilon. Then C is equal to either 1 or D. And where D is equal to 0, 1 star. So D will be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 or epsilon. So as the time is over, we will stop here. Tomorrow we will solve some little difficult problems of CFG. So don't miss the lecture for tomorrow. We will complete the designing problems of context-free grammar as far as possible. Okay. So I have a few more problems to solve. So we'll do the practice of CFG designing problems tomorrow. Okay, so don't miss the lecture. If you have any doubts, revise today so that you will understand tomorrow's problems. Okay, see you tomorrow morning.